Welcome back. We have Patrick Davey joining us from WorkSafeBC this afternoon. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thank you very much.
Yes, we are talking today about driving responsibly with transport trucks. It's not always easy. They can be a bit intimidating at times. And because sometimes they're slow, you think you can take liberties and pass them quickly or, you know, zip in front of them, and it can get dangerous.
Not me.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, we as drivers think we can do that.
But look at where we live. We live in really a transportation hub in Kamloops. And really, I defy anybody to go out on the highways around here and not come across a transport truck, commercial vehicle. When we look at these, though, there are a lot of accidents with transport trucks. In fact, in the last 5 years, for transport truck drivers, there's been over 1,750 related to crashes. When we look at traffic accidents in general for the province, 1/5 of all the traffic accidents involve a transport truck.
I'll tell you one thing that I think can be dangerous around this part of BC because we are such a mecca and we see so many trucks passing through because we have so many highways. I will merge onto the highway up towards, say, in the direction of Merritt, but I'm just getting on the highway to go home up to Aberdeen, and you merge onto the highway and you're going a good clip, and then suddenly you're faced with this semi right in front of you going super slow.
Yeah, in the slow lane.
In the slow lane. So they're doing what they can do. Sometimes they put on their flashers, right? But it's dangerous because you don't realize how quickly you're going. You can come right up behind them, and it can be quite dangerous.
Well, and there are quite a few accidents. Like I was saying, there's 1 in 5 traffic accidents in BC involve a commercial vehicle. That means approximately 60 people are killed every year in traffic-related accidents involving commercial vehicles. So we tend to think, well, it must be the commercial vehicles. But however, I would say that studies reveal that the majority of the accidents involving cars and trucks, that means passenger trucks and commercial vehicles, it's the passenger vehicle's fault. So that's why we're trying to look at it a little bit more closely. Now, the initiative itself is it's a continent-wide initiative, and it's really meant to promote awareness, but it also involves local police and CVSE, commercial vehicle safety inspectors, and they're out ticketing not only the commercial truck drivers, but also passenger drivers that aren't really sharing the road, or they have poor driving habits.
Yeah, they're taking bad chances. We have some videos, actually. This is a sort of a stopping distance demonstration. So what are we seeing here, Patrick?
Well, we know that trucks have a limited ability to stop quickly. They have lots of blind spots. What they're showing is, you know, as you get closer, you can't see things. So when you're, so when they're saying is...
So if that guy stops super fast, this guy, you can see the binders.
Yeah.
Takes them way longer to stop. This is a good demonstration.
And here's another thing. When you pass a vehicle, when you're merging in front of them, just like you were saying, you shouldn't merge in there until you can see both of their headlights in your mirror, because they can't see you and they have these blind spots.
Yes, and they're quite big compared to ours.
And you will come in second.
Yes, indeed.
So there are actually some tips for drivers of passenger vehicles and commercial vehicles, and there's 4 of each. For passenger vehicles, just like it says, leave some space, because large trucks can't turn and stop on a dime.
Okay.
Secondly, we talked about the merging. Make sure that you can see both of their headlights before you turn in. If you're up beside them, they can't see you. Thirdly, be visible around trucks. Either stay well ahead of them or behind them. And if you're behind them and you can't see their mirrors, chances are they can't see you. And finally, anticipate those wide turns.
Let's take a look.
Okay.
This is another example. I've seen people make this mistake out on the road where they think that they can merge into the lane because the truck is moving over just like it is.
Yep.
And then they pop in from behind thinking, oh, look.
I can sneak by.
And that's a big no-no.
And all of a sudden, you're coming in second again.
Yeah, you're not going to win there. Not a chance. Yeah, some good things to point out, for sure.
So now there's some tips for the actual truck drivers themselves, the commercial truck drivers, and we have plenty of them. As we get into, I would say, the snotty time of the year, November, December, January, when it becomes challenging, the truck drivers have to maintain their vehicles, especially looking at their brakes and their tires to minimize their stopping distances. Adjust your speed in driving to weather and road conditions. As we get into fog, snow, all of that, slow down. Stay sharp and focused, get plenty of sleep. And for truck drivers, commercial truck drivers, try to avoid those in-cabin disturbances, your distractions, I would call them. And finally, ensure that your loads are well balanced and secured. This will minimize the chance, it'll lessen the chance of accidents and the impact on passenger vehicles.
Great. Good tips today, Patrick.
And just another thing, I've got lots of respect for truck drivers. My son-in-law is a commercial truck driver in Australia. I live next to a cement truck driver. I grew up around logging truck drivers. So really, they're professionals, they're safe, they want to do it right. But it's a combined effort to keep the roads safe.
Absolutely, it takes both sides.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much for that, Patrick. Davey, if you have questions about this topic, the website's on the screen, WorkSafeBC.com. We're back after a quick break. Stay with us.